In this week's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at doing a bigger painting of Whitby town and also showing you a bit more of what's been going on at the boat. I did mention a few weeks ago that I was going to be painting something to do with Whitby. I love the way the marina down at the bottom and the river is almost held on both sides by the valley coming down, and then you've got really important features like the abbey up on the hill, and the bridge going over the Esk, and the main bridge, the swing bridge in the centre of the town. It's an iconic place. Once you've visited there, you recognise it straight away. But then there's also the other side, on the other side of the marina, where you've got the beach and the actual harbour itself, the natural harbour, where it's a little bit quieter. And then of course round the corner towards Robin Hood's Bay, where there's the nab. I'm also going to be doing a little painting about that in a future thing, but the first thing I'm going to sort out is this one. I've done a little bit of a sketch of it, and I'm going to transfer that, and this is going to take more than one video to do, so I'll just keep updating you on this painting and also updating you on things on the boat, which this week we're not doing because tomorrow is Whitby Goth weekend. So in next week's video we should have some stuff about that as well. Anyway, enjoy the painting, enjoy the boat updates, and enjoy the pictures of Whitby. See you in a bit. It's amazing what you see on the motorway crossing the Pennines. It's people travelling by air, travelling by road in vintage style. This must be a wedding car. And then once we got to Whitby, I was surprised to see our paraglider had made it too. Yeah, and I know it was probably a different paraglider. It was perfect rowing weather too. The tide was out, so we went for a walk to the harbour to have a look around. Here you can really get a sense of how the harbour is nestled within the surrounding town buildings. Then it was back to the boat to get some jobs done. I had to clear everything out of the way first. Now, I did say this wasn't going to turn into a boat restoration channel. I really don't want it to turn into a boat restoration channel, but there are certain things that you need to do. If there's a leak or a pipe's leaking, or you need to test something or check something, you need to do a bit of work. So just know what's going on in the background. It's not all sitting on the back painting. Sometimes I have to make a little bit of a mess and actually get underneath everything. I found the source of the water leak though. Yay! This is going to need rebedding. So all good, all sorted, and all these areas are going to be cleaned up and painted white so I can see if there's any problems in the future, but all looks good so far. So yeah, there is a lot of work that goes into it, but this is what I love doing. I love messing around with mechanics and engineering and seeing how things work. I wish I'd have done more of it really, but just never had the chance. I'm really enjoying myself with this though. My husband thinks I'm crackers, but there you go. Right, I shall get on with this, and there'll be more painting soon, don't worry. I might even show you painting the outside of the boat. You never know. It's a painting channel after all. See you later. It's amazing where you have to get to inspect stuff. I had to climb into the cockpit locker to inspect this seacock. Another lovely evening, but it was going to be a cold night. You could see this the next morning from the dew evaporating from the damp spray hood with the early morning sun on it. Today is haul out day. Freyr is being put in the boatyard to have a few things sorted. We'll be nestled in amongst the other boats whilst we do some de-rusting, some polishing and painting and fixing the engine. We're backed right against the railway lines, and at weekends we get the old steam trains going past. My dad would have loved this. So on with the new painting. I'm just planning out the painting, putting on the first few layers. As you can see, it's not really easy to tell what's going on at the moment, but I know exactly what all these things are, and I'll explain them all to you in a minute. So here we go, this is where we're up to. I've done the initial layout. I just wanted to explain what all those little bits were. We've got the Royal Hotel on this area. This is all going to be the maze of buildings with steps going through, and then the shop front. This is the harbour wall, the swing bridge going across the top, the harbour going out that way, the old Victorian lampposts that seem to be everywhere. Got the Abbey up on the corner with St Mary's there. There are going to be steps coming down. More of the buildings that... It's like a patchwork blanket of buildings everywhere. And then more of the harbour wall here with a couple of boats. Now, the way I'm going to do this, I see all the buildings as being characters within themselves. When they say the buildings are so full of character in Whitby, I wanted to exaggerate that a little bit. Very similar to how I did on the Spirit of Silver Street video and the big painting that I did of that for Bury, for Spirit of Silver Street at Bury Art Museum, and I'm going to do this in a similar way, bit of a smaller scale, but I want to do my own version of Whitby with all the character that I think it is held there. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to carry on painting this over the next week or so and do your little updates on things. And that's it for this week. So next week there'll be stuff, more Whitby Goth weekend, bit more of an update on this, and maybe a bit more of an update on the boat as well. I will get out there painting on her. There were many jobs that needed doing that we were going to do next winter, but because of things breaking down, everything's come forward. So we're doing lots of things now that we were going to be doing once we'd got round to Whitehaven. So the trip is still on, it's just been delayed for a little bit, but we're still working there. Next week the engine comes out, so that'll be fun. Right, see you later. Bye.